Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined as always by LA Chargers.
Oh, you're killing me, LA Charger.
Mr. Jason Hall.
I'm still a free agent. I'm still in hope and dream of bringing the Charger name back to San Diego. Whether we have a team or not, Kyle, I will keep saying that until I can get the politicians on par with this. If I was a politician, if I was the mayor, wouldn't it be the greatest thing if you were able to keep the San Diego Charger name here and strip it away from Mr. Spanos, the evil man that he is and his family? You think about it, you would be a rock star in San Diego legend. You'd go down like Dan Fouts, LT, and everybody's upset at LT right now because he's going to be paid by the Mr. Spanos, which we can talk about later because I can go on and on about that.
Tell me more about Papa Doug, because I know there's a proposal. Douglas Manchester's looking to bring it back.
We talked about the last couple weeks. I mean, he's got the wealth, and I actually missed the show, but I was listening to you guys, and Kyle's like, well, hey, why didn't Manchester step up, when this went down? Well, here's why. No one likes Spanos. So who wants to step up and help a guy that everybody hates?
Right.
That's the reason why this vote didn't pass. That's the reason why the rich people in the San Diego did not help him. They want their own NFL franchise, and most of us that live here in San Diego want to call it the San Diego Chargers. Now, I'm sure Mr. Whissel would love for it to be the San Diego Bills and to have, the Buffalo Bills roll into town and win a championship finally, and then he'd really laugh because we haven't won one. He'd be very excited. But that's my take on Manchester. He wants to have his own NFL franchise with his own people so that they can manage a true ownership team and not be a nickel and dime owner like the Spanoses have. They nickel dime Junior Seau and they nickel dime LT. They're going to nickel dimes, Rodney Harrison. They're going to nickel dime Rivers and Gates. It's going to happen, guys. These are truly nickel and dime owners. They've ran everybody out of town, including a 14-2 head coach who's never coached again.
Good old Marty.
Yeah, and I wasn't the biggest Marty fan, but he's 14-2, and he got fired.
That was the dumbest firing in NFL history.
You know what? We have the worst owners in NFL history, and they think they own the Chargers. They owned them in 1984. Guys, I've been a fan way before they even thought about owning an NFL team. And again, Dean Spanos, he's only worked for Daddy's company. He's never had to go out there and get his own job, work for regular people. He has worked for Daddy's companies his whole entire life, and through those eyes, it's a different mindset. I understand why he's different, but he has to understand that most people have never lived the privileged life that he's lived, and why so many people like myself are upset that he just wants to jerk the team up and take them up there. And I really think if he doesn't sell quickly, he's going to lose his shirt. So that's my take on
I bet he can afford
the LA Chargers there, Kyle.
Let's talk about Trump.
Let's talk about
Trump. Let's talk about his talk tonight, and I want to lead into Nathan, who's our health insurance expert. So, Jason, give us a lowdown on Trump's talk last night, and then lead into Obamacare, because I want to get into what's happening with that, too.
I didn't get a chance. I wish Paul was in studio with us. Paul's normally my producer. I look in the box. He's not in there. He probably actually listened to the whole thing. I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole thing, but it was interesting eating dinner, kind of looking over and seeing every time Trump said anything, the whole right side stands up, the vice president, and Ryan stand up, and like the whole left, and there's a bunch of ladies in white, and they didn't stand up at all, right?
Matt Ryan was there?
Was Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan, MVP of Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan was at the...
That's the new guy in charge of the Congress on the right.
Where'd Paul Ryan go?
Paul Ryan. Thank you, sir. See?
I love it.
It's good.
We'd be lost without you, Jason.
So, just his speech, though, last night got the market so excited. They really, truly believe everything he said he would do, they really believe he will do. And so the market rallied another couple hundred points today. We went over 21,000. It was 19,000, on election day. We're up 2,000 points. This is the largest increase of any president-elect of all time. This is crazy what's going on. And that song, really, when we got here, money, 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 right? Like, it's unbelievable the wealth that's been created in 3 or 4 months, and the rich get richer. I hope you guys got $1 million in the stock, because if you did, now it's worth like $1.5 million. I don't have a whole lot. Mine's more in real estate, and I was still sitting in the cash because I was kind of concerned, and I'm still concerned he'll tweet something and the market might drop 2,000 points, right? Like, we'll see what happens. But that's my take on Trump. I wish Paul was here to kind of fill us in, but it's going to be hard because the left's not going to help him in any way. When they don't even stand, when he says, "Yeah, we're all great Americans," and they don't stand. Yeah, let's do great things and help America, and they don't stand. I mean, there is such a divisive difference right now. And I get it. that he's not the best leader. I think most of us agree he's not the best leader
of all people.
Of all
right?
people.
I mean, so like he's got his. He is one of the most loyal leaders to those that supported him.
Right.
I mean, he's doing that.
But he didn't have. He only had 19%.
Yeah.
You know, when we first started, a year and a half ago, when he was running against Republicans, he had 19%. Now that was the number one person during that time, but he doesn't have a huge amount of supporters, and a lot of us conservative have to get on his side. But we still can be like, hey, why did you say that? You know, why'd you tweet that? I mean, Kyle says it all the time. Jason, why'd you say that? My wife says it all the time. Why'd you say that? Right? My business coach, man, why'd you say that? Right? And they're, trying to help me speak less as I ramble on here. And my brother-in-law's brother here laughing at me. It is just classic what he does. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I really hope he changes the world around. I just don't believe that will happen. And I think there's a big correction coming. And if you're long on the stock market, get ready. Somewhere in the next 12 months, something's coming.
Well, one of the things that I kind of worry about is we sit here and you see a lot of things like taking credit for the increase of the market, right? But that means you got to take credit for the decrease of when a correction does come too. So if you're going to take credit here, you got to take credit there. But no politician ever takes credit for the opposite direction, right? So it's just funny to do they not know in advance? Like, I better be careful what I say, because if I take credit for it, then I theoretically
be careful for what I say. Do you think he ever thinks those words?
Not so much.
Doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. I mean, and that's what makes it the most unique president in our lifetime, right? There might have been some more guys like that back before there was even video cameras and cameras themselves, but this is a very unique individual, and everything in the beginning was, I told you I would do this. I will do this. I am going to do this. I, and then a few we's. And even as a conservative, I'm like, man, can't he just say, we will get it done? Me and my staff will get it done. No, everything is I. And that is, that what's the word for that attitude that all the people on the left were giving him a hard time when you're just I.
Pride.
No, more than pride.
I'd say the issue's
pride.
pride.
He really thinks like he's a god. So what's
misogynistic?
Kind of, that's misogynistic.
Well,
they're saying
narcissistic.
Okay. That's what they're saying on the left. So if you turn on CNN, that's all they do. They just beat him up. You turn on the right, and they kind of give you a little bit of both on like the Fox. And of course, being a conservative, I'd rather watch Fox. But I do click on CNN, and it drives my wife crazy. She can't watch like 30 seconds of CNN. Now, my brother-in-law and her sister,
my whole family.
they only watch CNN, right? Like, you're the only one, huh?
I'm the only one.
Somehow you got out, James.
I know.
Well, there's still hope for your brother and sister-in-law.
Yeah, maybe.
You love talking politics, Jason.
Well, it's a lot of stuff going on, right? Like Craig Sowen talked about this. Craig said, hey, guys, whether you love him or hate him, there's a lot going on with Trump, and there's a lot going on right now. And I think there's more people showing passion on both sides than ever before. Obama early, I would say there was a lot of passion because he was the first black president. He had some ideas. He got people talking about politics that normally weren't. But Trump's a whole nother creature, and he just polarizes both sides. And even people on his side aren't excited with him. I mean, Paul Ryan, who I referred to earlier as Matt Ryan, isn't his biggest fan, right? But he respects the position. He knows the job he has to do, and Paul Ryan is handling a spot. But maybe Matt Ryan will take that spot in the future. But Matt couldn't finish the second half.
Ooh.
Couldn't finish.
Oh, that's messed up.
Isn't that messed up? Hillary couldn't finish.
Bro. Too soon.
I talked about it too. Hillary melded in the last 2 weeks. She thought she was the president. Mm-hmm. She couldn't finish.
Well, she took the position of let me just shut up and let him bury himself, and that didn't exactly work out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what all the experts thought.
I mean,
when that
hindsight kind of burns you, but I mean, still, you kind of like, dude, he was on fire for a while. He was totally burning himself.
He was totally burning himself, and that video,
didn't care.
That video, everybody thought that was a nail in the coffin. I think we even talked about it, Kyle. You thought that was a nail in the coffin when that video came out of how he's grabbing parts and doing stuff, and it was locker room talk as far as I'm concerned. And the guys that say stuff like that doesn't get talked about in locker room in certain ways, maybe not exactly that. Are lying to the ladies in their life.
Right?
I mean, it doesn't make it right, but we know guys talk, just like we know ladies talk. And sometimes ladies talk a lot tougher, guys, than
50 Shades of Grey? How many women went and saw that movie and it's totally acceptable?
Yeah, I didn't know.
What? Yeah. I'm confused.
Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in, but that's the politic dump on Trump. Stock market's crazy, but be prepared. A correction always happens. It's not if it happens, it's when. And if you can predict it, Kyle, you could be a billionaire.
Well, I was listening to Gary Vee, who's one of my marketing idols, and Tony Robbins just did a show together, I think yesterday. And they talked about the stock market and how if you had your money invested over the last 20 years, I think on average, the S&P went up 8% per year.
Sounds about right.
Over the last 20 years. But if you missed the key 20 days, there were 20 peak days of activity, that 8.2%
like
went
zero
down
or negative
basically
almost.
to negative. So it's like if you are trying to time the market day in and day out, it's impossible. If you have it in there for the long haul, you're going to be fine. But there were 20 key days in the stock market history that if you missed those 20, if your money wasn't in the market those days, even over a 20-year period, it would have lost money.
I think we've had a couple of the investment guys talk about that.
It's
We've had them on the
crazy
show.
how that works.
Yeah, 20 days is the key, so you got to be there.
Yeah, so you just got to have your money in
Now,
the market.
somehow,
and
if
play.
you could hit the key 20 days,
and none of the others,
and none of the other
You're
days,
up 100%.
yeah, you're up 100%, and you're looking like Warren Buffett, right?
And you're going to jail because you've done something illegal.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody, you're exactly
Martha
right.
Stewart. Yeah, you
don't
Martha
know.
Stewarted the market.
Let's talk about some health insurance while we got 2 minutes, or can we set that
Yeah,
up?
we're going to head to a break, but the thing that I want to key in on as we come back, a big part of what Trump's doing is talking about Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, and how he's going to change that. So we're going to head to a break, but when we get back, we're going to talk with Nathan Craig, 3C Insurance Services. I want to get the scoop on what's happening, where you see us headed as we head into 2017 and beyond.
And I want to know what the 3 C's are again. I'm sure Nathan will fill us in.
All right, you are listening to AM 1170, Whissel Wednesdays. We'll be right back.
AM 1170, The Answer.